Okay, we live. We're live. We're live. Welcome to Agape FM.
Thank you.
To Agape FM. Otherwise, let me go in here. Let me do this. All right. Molweni Betsinela Molweni. Greetings to everyone of Agape who's listening to Agape FM. We are live on other social media platforms today. We are doing the things. The time now is 2 minutes past 1 at Agape FM. You are listening to the Midday Talk with me, Unobi Sambekela, and we are bringing the gospel nearer to you. Today, as you can see, we're not on Facebook Live, but we are live on StreamYard. We are. If you tuned into our Facebook page, then you'd know that today we are speaking with Alizwa Mbete. Before we get to anything, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
I'm just happy it's warmer now.
Yeah, it's warm, but it's windy at Gqeberha. We are it's
Okay.
off the side.
Oh, yes.
All right. Like we always say, welcome to you, Alizwa, who's our guest, and welcome to our listener, and welcome if you are listening to, if you are in Gqeberha, if you're outside of Gqeberha, if you're outside of South Africa, abroad, if you, wherever you're listening to, it might be a good morning, it might be a good evening, it might also be a good afternoon, like here in Gqeberha. I am Unabi Sambekela, and I will be bringing the gospel nearer to you. Today we have Alizwa Mbete, who is a property broker of Mastandi Properties. Reading her bio, Alizwa Mbete is a property broker born in Gqeberha and brought up in East London. She studied towards a Bcom Economics and Management degree at Rhodes University in Grahamstown. She then went on to work as a sales consultant and a student advisor for a small online business college in Cape Town. It was there that she decided to quit her job and to pursue a career in real estate. She started her real estate career as an estate agent with Sotheby's International in Gqeberha in 2015, focusing mainly on residential sales. She then decided to move to Johannesburg in 2018 with a company called Mastandi Properties, which is now focusing on commercial and retail property sales and letting. With her 6 years in the property profession, she sees every day as a new day to learn and grow, and one day hopes to get into property development. Alizwa's motto is "The world is your oyster," and there is still a lot that she wishes to accomplish. Let me repeat that. Alizwa's motto is "The world is your oyster." Point blank. The world is your oyster. Before we get to anything else, is the world really your oyster?
The world is my oyster.
All
Anything I
right.
want to achieve, I can achieve.
Yeah, true. I think we should just give that to everyone if you want to achieve something, then you can actually achieve something. Tell me more about yourself. Who is Alizwa? Where? Because I read here that you're from here, Gqeberha. You grew up in East London. You went to Joburg, Cape Town. You travel.
So I was born from a family of a Methodist minister. And a teacher. So if those who are familiar with the Methodist Church, the ministers get rotated every 5 years. So this is why I'm a traveler. So I was born in PE. We moved to Grahamstown, moved to Cape Town, moved to East London, which is where I spent most of my formative years. Moved to Cape Town, then to Mthatha, then to PE again, and then to Joburg. So I'm a traveler. And
Mm.
I feel like that traveling actually equipped me for the career that I embarked on eventually. I've got
Okay.
2 brothers, and I'm the only daughter.
Nice.
Yeah. Is it?
Okay, straight into business. Property broker. Oh,
Mm,
you mentioned something on your bio about transitioning from sales to real estate.
mm.
What was the transition? How was the transition like between the sales of real estate and what is the difference in the market of sales
So
and yeah.
So it's just the same. It's basically sales.
Mm,
And strangely enough, as I always say, God orders our steps, and God knows where He puts you. And so the
mm,
reason why I was at that online business college is because everything I learned there equipped me to be a real estate agent. Because sales is
mm,
sales. You sell a pen, you sell a property. It's the same. It's about customer service. It's about servicing the customer and giving
mm,
them what they want. So yeah.
mm. So sales are sales. There is no
Sales is sales.
particular.
Sales is sales. You need to be a people's person. You need to be able
Mm,
to interpret what people want from you without even saying it. So you have to
mm.
love people so that you can read people and read their body language. Yeah.
Okay, you saying sales are sales, but I want to
Mhm.
know in detail the difference
Mhm.
between residential property sales and commercial sale property sales.
Okay.
Is
So
there a difference?
yes. So residential property sales is basically selling the property that people live in. So
Mm,
your house that you live in, a property that you want to invest in, where you want to put tenants in, those are the residential sales. And then
mm,
commercial sales are basically focused on commercial letting. So it's the business buildings. So
mm,
if your company wants to get an office space, they call me and I find them an office space.
mm,
And I've found that the difference between the two is that, residential is more of a relationship because it's a very sensitive issue when you're selling someone a house, a home, as compared
mm,
to just an office space. So with an office space, the person just wants 100 square meter space, and that's that. With a house, it's
mm,
more about how you feel when you walk into the house, the lighting in the house, how sunny it is, and all those kind of things.
mm,
Yeah,
it's a big difference. There's a big
it's a big
difference in it.
difference. Yeah.
And so, do you work with the buyers or do you work with the sellers now?
It's both. So obviously we have to work with both.
Mm,
Someone will say, "Let me list their house for them." That's the seller, and then a buyer will come and say, "I want to buy." So you have to juggle between the two. So as much as people say that the seller is the one that employed you, you have to also be ethical enough and make sure that the buyer also doesn't feel like they were shortchanged in the deal.
mm.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So you work with both,
I
and
work
it
with both.
needs
Yeah.
ethics. There's
Yes.
ethics in there. So, now speaking with ethics, we all know
Yeah.
that while we believe that working with property needs a lot of capital, you need to have money, and
Mm.
now there we need ethics as well. So,
Yes.
what is basically what is the price listing? What is price listing, and how do you come to that?
Okay. So in terms of the price of the property,
Mm,
we look at the market value of the property. So you look at, let's say, for in Warmer, what are the houses
mm,
going for in Warmer? You look at the house that are sold next door, the house behind your house. So then we
mm,
make we sort of make sure that the house next door, if it's smaller or bigger than the one that you're selling, then we value it like that. So
mm,
you could put gold plates in your property, and you still won't get a big value because you're marketing it according to what was sold in the neighborhood.
mm, mm.
So
Oh,
that's why we often discourage people from putting too many um, fabulous,
mm.
what's this? Yeah, fabulous. What's the word? Adornments in the
Decorate.
property
Oh,
because
okay,
they
okay,
think,
all right.
yeah, because
Mm,
they're probably gonna think, okay, if I put this expensive thing, it's gonna make my property sell higher. But we don't
mm.
look at that. We look at what are the values in the neighborhood.
Oh, so you look at the neighboring houses
The,
as well
yes,
as.
the market
Oh,
value.
okay. So it's not
Yeah.
about the house. Okay, I just got school, dear
It is
listeners.
about, yes, it is about the house, but at the same time, the market also
Mm,
talks to it. Yeah.
oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. So with because you're working with clients which are the tenants or the buyers, and you're also working with the sellers. How do you screen, or do you screen the potential or prospects who wants to sell or buy the house or the space of the space? What do you do?
Okay. So screening in terms of selling a property, I make sure that each buyer is pre-qualified, right?
Mm,
So how you pre-qualify yourself is that you go to a bond originator or to your bank, and they're going to pre-qualify you according to your income, how much you can actually buy.
mm,
So I'll make sure the person has a pre-qualification certificate with them, so that we don't go and look at a 2 million rand house, whereas you can only afford 600,000. So that's how we pre-qualify a buyer. And in terms of tenants, for rental, we do a credit check and we check with your pay slip. So the rule of thumb is that if you want to rent a property, you have to earn about 3 times more than the rental value. So, for
mm,
instance, if you want to rent a property that is 5,000 rand a month, you have to earn at least 15,000 that's coming to you. So those are the kind of things that we look at, and then we also check out your credit score. We also check whether were you a good tenant previously, or yeah, things like that.
Okay. Now you're speaking about, because the screening process sounds like a process on itself.
Yeah.
Um, so are there other? Do you offer other services except for buying and selling or screening and everything else? But are there other services that you offer?
Yes. So the other service I offer is basically property valuation. So if you
Mm,
just need your property evaluated just to see how much your property is worth, I can do that for you. I also just give general advice to anyone
mm.
who calls me. But yeah,
She gives. Is it free?
it's
Is it
free.
free?
It's free for me because I know at the end of the day that one day you will buy from me. So I give
Mm,
the advice freely just for relationship building. And yeah.
mm. Dear listener, Alizwa Mbete of Mastandi Properties also gives free advice on property. On property. So here's a nugget right there, that if you're looking for something, it can be anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, true. There she gives advice. She would just advise you
Yes.
on where to go, and yeah, if you're looking for a house or just advice, right? She is right here.
Yes.
For a person who to buy, to sell, to be a property manager, to be in the property profession, does a person need license? Do they need a certificate? What do they need?
Okay. So in order to become to be an estate agent or a property manager,
Mm,
you have to go and work or intern with a registered property company.
mm,
Uh, when you get there, you have to get affiliated with something called the State Agency Affairs Board, which is our governing body, and you get something called a Fidelity Fund certificate. There,
mm,
you start becoming an intern agent, and you do something called a logbook, where you also then write an exam to become a qualified estate agent.
mm.
And yeah, that's just basically the process. So you can't just go around selling property without certificate
I
or
was about to say
training.
I'm gonna sell the house next door.
No, no.
So you need to go through that process.
Yes, legally,
Uh,
the attorneys are not supposed to pay you without that certificate.
so the tenants also need to do their research on you. So
Thank
this
you.
thing is all right.
Yes.
So if
So
you're
my
looking for a house out there, sorry, if you're looking for a house out there, also just another nugget, that they also need to provide you with a certificate of some sort. Uh,
yes.
all
So
right. So
I'd suggest that each seller, just before you employ an estate agent, make sure that they are affiliated to the State Agency Affairs Board. Ask for their
mm,
FFC number or certificate. Yeah.
mm, FFC number and certificate. Or
Also, it's the same thing. Yeah.
oh, okay. Or
Yeah.
so, guys, you won't come to Nobisa anymore for our houses. I'm qualified. So you need a certificate. They need to provide you with a certificate saying that they are qualified. What do you enjoy more? Because when I was reading, I had this thing that you enjoy what you're doing because you went from sales and just went into this career. What do you enjoy
Yes.
most about being in the property profession?
I'm a person that gets bored very easily.
Mm,
So when I was employed in the 9 to 5, I'd be so annoyed because you're sitting behind a desk all day looking at the sun going up and down and you are inside. So what I really so what I enjoy about the profession is that every day is different. You meet with
mm,
different kind of people every time. Some people are quote unquote crazy. Some people are very nice. Some people
mm,
are a challenge. And so as I said, every day is an opportunity to grow and learn. And I find that I learn a lot about myself as well in
mm,
this journey. So for me, it's the people. Yeah.
mm. Ladies and gentlemen, she loves people,
I
and
do.
you enjoy people. So a 9 to 5 does not work for you. So,
No.
guys, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 17 minutes past 1 on Agape FM. You are listening to the Midday Talk with me, Unomi Mbete, and I'm in conversation with Alizwa Mbete of Mastandi Property, which is she is a property broker slash advisor for free. We are still speaking about property, the property lingo and everything else. So if someone wants to go into or study property,
Mm, mm.
or what skills do they need to acquire, or how can they go into the field of property?
Okay, legally, there's no real course that you have to do to
Mm,
start the journey. So you can go straight from matric and go into an estate agency and start the internship from there, and they'll show you the rest of the way forward. So once you're there, you study something called an NQF4 in real estate, and then an NQF5 in real estate. Those are the two courses that you do, but you do it while it's on the job training, basically.
okay.
But for me, I feel like my BCom gave me the everything I learned there, I'm using
Mm,
here. So the accounting skills, I'm using the business management, I'm using um, everything that I learned, strategy,
mm,
because you are basically your own boss. So it's your own business. So you are the one-stop shop for everything. Yeah.
mm. Nice.
So maybe people
So you,
can study a BCom or a business course if they want to. Um,
so alternatively, you just go into a retail business or a retail office and just acquire or just see if they
yeah,
are okay. Okay.
you
So
call
if you're
up.
looking for
Yeah.
so if
So
if
for
if
me,
you
when I got into it, I called up the state company, the Sotheby's
mm,
International Realty, and they took me in and taught me everything I know.
and now you have your own office.
Yes.
All right. So if you're looking into going into or forming a career in real estate or property development or property as a whole, you can go into the Bcom way, or you can actually go into a real estate agency or a real estate office and just see how they can offer what they can offer you and
Mhm.
what you can also offer, and take it from there. Otherwise you cannot be selling houses without a permit, if I can put it that way. You need a
Yes.
certificate, you need a permit to sell a
I
house.
just
Otherwise
I'd also like
you
to say I'd also like to say that if I had known before the world wasn't as open as it is, and if I had known
Mm,
that you can study in property, I would have done something like a degree in property development, which is
mm.
something that I probably still want to do, just because I want to get into that world. Yeah.
Speaking about property development, is there a difference between what you're doing now and the property development?
It's a big
Mm,
difference. So
I
property
know.
yes.
Mm,
So a developer is the person who actually develops the property that we
mm,
sell. So the complexes that you see around you, the office parks that you see, as a developer who conceptualized it and developed the whole thing. So it needs a lot of money and maybe a lot of resources to start in that field.
Yeah. Okay. So the future plans are property development for Alizwa, right? Where are we else seeing you? What are you doing in the next say a couple of 5 years, 3 years? What are the future plans?
So my other passion, as you would know, is mentoring, and as well as making sure that you leave a legacy for yourself in people. So I enjoy, as I'm saying, that's why I enjoy giving free advice, because I enjoy helping people realize their potential. So one day I hope to open some sort of girls' academy, which is my long-term biggest thing, because my mentor in my mind is Oprah Winfrey. So I want to be like, she doesn't know it yet.
She's the mentor, so
yeah. So that's the future goal. I also just want to do those kind of things.
All the best, and may God guide you and also be with you. In fact, may He lead the way so that wherever that you want to go, He is already there and laid form to whatever that you want to do. To the academy, Girls Academy, it's coming. To the development, it's coming, and everything that you wish for is coming. Like you said, that if the world is your oyster, you can do whatever that you want to do if you set your mind to it. And basically, if you pray about it, it's coming your way and it is yours. Right. For someone who is still in the journey of trying to see what their career is, just pacing their dreams, what would you say a word of encouragement to them?
So for a person who's still trying to figure out what they're supposed to do with their life, I think the best option is, the most practical thing is to pray about it. This is exactly what I did, because I remember when I was sitting at that job and I was like, I want to get into real estate, but I don't know how to. And so I just prayed for God to show me the way. And true to form, God put people in my path. And I met a lady. The first person I remember was this lady called Bronwyn, who worked for Brawl Property. And she said to me, go this way, go talk to this person. And that person talked to me and told me what to do. So I think the first step really is to pray about it and believe that you will achieve what you want.
Pray about it and everything will be aligned. Alignment. I love that. I love that you always put for God first, because if you don't do that, then things might not go into alignment, or along the way you might not see your purpose or know what your purpose is.
Exactly.
So word of encouragement from Alizwa, say pray. I mean, it feels so weird calling you by name. It feels so weird calling you by name, but right. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish this conversation would go on and on and on and on, because I'm learning more and more and more about property. And I wish we'd also tap into your mentorships and everything, but there will be a perfect time for that. Maybe you'll come through again and we'll tap more into that. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Awesome. Where do we find you on social media? Maybe someone might be looking for advice out there. Someone might be looking for a house. Maybe a word of encouragement or mentorships. Where can we find you on social media?
Okay, so my social media, all of it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's Alizwa Mbete. You're not gonna find any words of advice there. I'm very crazy on my social media. So but you will find me Facebook, Alizwa Mbete on Facebook. Instagram is Alizwa Mbete, Twitter is Alizwa Mbete.
And there you have it, folks. If you're looking for anything, the post will not say words of encouragement, but if you DM or tap into that inbox, then you'll find that word of encouragement, advice, or whatever that you'll be looking for. It is Alizwa Gqeberha Mbete.
Gqeberha Mbete, yes.
Yeah, on Facebook and Instagram.
Alizwa Mbete.
Okay,
And
so it's
then
if you
Twitter,
search
it's
Alizwa,
just
if you
search,
search
yeah.
Alizwa Mbete, then you find everything. Again,
Yeah.
once again, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you for
Okay,
inviting me. It was awesome.
thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the time now is 26 minutes. Oh, sorry about that. 26 minutes past 1 on a lovely Friday afternoon. It is the 5th of November 2021. And while you have it, it's only 1 month till 2022. So if you have not done those New Year's resolutions right now, I don't know what you're waiting for. I was sitting with Alizwa Mbete of Mastandi Property. This is Agape FM, where we bring the gospel nearer to you. Ending off the midday talk session with me, Mbekela. I am ending it off with Usina saying, I know who I am, and boy, we all know who we are. If you are not in God, then I don't know. I don't know. Sis, thank you so much.
Thank you, sis.
Bye, everybody.